Hi, I'm Karen Koger. I would like to talk to you today about urban music education perspectives. And I think I want to start out with a few words. And the first words that I want to talk to you about are compassion, empathy, listening, and firm but flexible. That's another good one. The reason that I got into this is because I taught in uh, two different school districts with two completely different urban settings. And so, in order to talk about this today, we have to have a definition of what urban music education means. So, I'm going to be peeking over here to my right on my notes, just so that's my comfort level. For today, the definition of urban music education is going to be low socioeconomic, high density population music education, and for underserved schools, and even Title I schools with the majority of free and reduced lunches. So I don't want to go down a couple other roads today. I know that this is the time where we're talking a lot about diversity, and I'll be talking about that too, but I really want this to be about all students that are underserved, in this category. So I hope that's all right with you. And my words that I started with, empathy and compassion, I'm going to start with the fact that the students, when they finish a year at our school, or when they finish 3 years especially, the thing that they always talk about is that their favorite teacher was the one that listened to them, that had patience with them, who was there when they didn't get it, and they took the time to get them through a rough patch. Because I find that a lot of these students who are underserved and maybe don't have all the instruction at home, that they just need a little help, because if they hit one thing that stops them, they're done. They're not going to go past a roadblock. And a lot of us have been taught that no matter what, we can figure it out, we can go around it, we can go through it, we can go over it, and that isn't always what's being taught to these students that I've seen. There are some. There are always going to be exceptions to what I say, okay? So, in schools, usually anywhere from 70 to 90% of what's going on in your school is fabulous. And then there's that 10 to 30% that could improve, or that could communicate better, or that could help this one student that's just struggling and can't get it figured out. I know that one thing that stopped my students from learning, I was so excited one day because I had filled my board with all the steps thinking this is going to be great. When they came in, they got so sad and depressed because there was so much writing on the board and they had to go through every single step. I was shocked because to me, I'm like, here, we're going to do this, 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 this. And they looked at it as like, we have to do all this work. Oh, she expects us to do everything. And it was amazing. So we're hearing lots of things like wrong and strong, one note at a time. You probably have your own mantra. But the kids, they internalize those mantras. If I can just get one note and then try the next note and I succeed, I'm doing great. And that was really huge for my Hispanic community down in Arizona. Here, it's like, if you make a mistake, who cares? Because we're going to do it another 15 to 30 times, and you get a chance to redo. And it's okay. It's all right. It doesn't have to be perfect. So, listening to their needs, their stories, their opinions, their likes, their concerns, their hopes, tops the chart. It's the thing. It's the one. The other thing is the smaller chunks. When I look at a classroom in my, today I teach in a public charter school, which is a majority of black students with Hispanic and Arab and a couple, a few whites, and it's quite diverse. But oh my goodness, these children try so hard. And when I look in the classroom, I see that they put 3 questions on the board, maybe 5 questions on the board for whatever topic they're working on. That's it. If you can figure out these 3 things and put it in your mind and use it, oh my goodness, you have just succeeded. And it's kind of cool. And I always thought, wow, I'm going to do this, you know, that's just my brain. Speaking of my brain and kids' brains, what they want and what you want are two different things. What they want is they want to sound cool. They want to get it right. They want it to be great. They want everybody to think that they know what they're doing and play music. They're not worried about what we worry about. The bow hand, the posture, the note reading, the counting. I mean, they just want to be able to do it. And so it's our job to make sure that what we give them gets them to that cool thing sooner. All right. Let's see. I'm going to think about a lot of our kids quit. One child, no, actually about 3 kids weren't getting the note reading, and I was pounding it hard. And one day they just stopped showing up. And they may have talked in their classroom, outside your classroom, and said, you know, I'm not getting this. Are you getting this? No, I'm not getting this. Well, maybe it's just not the thing for me, and maybe not the thing for you. And all of a sudden, the kids didn't come. And I thought, what in the world? So I ran down to the classrooms and I said, what is it? Something's in your way. Something's blocking you. And he said, he was strong enough to say, I'm not able to read the notes. I said, let me show you. You got to come back. Let me show you in the next class how many other kids aren't getting it. They don't read the notes yet, but they're able to make sound. They're able to do that bow hold. They've got good posture, so do you. And all of a sudden he said, well, yeah, I got some things right. And he was willing to come back and try again. I was so happy. His name's Kiari, and he's the nicest boy. So all of a sudden I said, look, let's talk. Let's find out what's going on. Instead of just being the teacher in the front, staying in the front, and saying, well, lost another one, that's okay. I've got 17 that are fighting for me. That's good. Now I want those other 3 that decided, I can't get this. So a lot of underserved communities, you got to fight for those little ones that think they can't do it, aren't sure what's wrong, don't know why it doesn't make sense, and they just need someone to sit and talk to them and say, I'll be there with you. Or I'll put a student with you that does get it, and we'll figure it out. It'll be okay. All right, so peer encouragement, speaking of that, is so strong. Oh my goodness, they talk differently than we do. And sometimes one little word that they say just puts it in their lingo, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, and the light bulbs start shooting off, and everybody's happy again. So I spend maybe 1 to 3 minutes every class where the kids either work together or they work on their own, so they have time to think it through, to process. And this has been one of the best tools I've ever used in my class. Another thing that got me in trouble, I was assuming that all Hispanic children liked, say, La Cucaracha or Cielito Lindo, and because that's in their culture. And I'd ask a child, well, what's your favorite music? And they'd say, classical. What? or rock. Okay. I was such a dumb teacher. I made the assumption that, you know, mariachi and Hispanic music and polka and all of those, you know, the tango and the rumba, and anyhow, all of those beautiful things would be the things that they would get excited about, and it had nothing to do with that. You know, there's so much as a teacher that we need to learn, and there's so much that we have to learn on the fly. That one I got on the fly. So I asked them, what do you like? What rhythms kind of get you excited? And you can see it. Like if you have the students create their own rhythm, you've got what turns them on just immediately. And you can feed on that really, really quickly. All right, so we have to stack, we have to scaffold. You guys have heard these words as we do our professional developments. It's true, because if they miss a step and it doesn't make sense, you've got to fill in the gap. That's your job. All right, safety, 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 safety. I can't bring this one up strongly enough. The students coming into your room, whether they're bullies or whether they're the shy ones in the corner, have to feel safe in order to take the chance to get it right. And so in my classroom, I talk to the bullies. I say, I'm going to defend you just as strongly as I'm going to defend one of the shy ones, because you need to be safe as well. And I don't want you getting embarrassed, and I don't want to call you out, but if you're making it tough in my classroom, we've got to talk about this. And a lot of times, oh, Miss Coger, I get it. I got to work with you so that I learn more. Yep, yep. And you're going to help those students over there too. And the shy ones, to make them safe. If you take a chance with me, I'm going to make sure that no one picks on you. I'm going to be there, and if they pick on you, I'm going to get them because I've got your back. If you've got their back, all of a sudden they're like, it's going to be okay. So another thing that I've done, it's something that's in me. I pick up on speech patterns, and I pick up on all the things that they say, like, I got you. In my school right now, I got you, is very strong, because that's what they say to each other. If you listen to them and you start hearing some of that lingo, your brain's going to say, oh, okay, I got you. I'm going to make sure you're all right. Or things are like, oh my goodness. And I use that even outside the classroom. It's become part of me. And I think that's what happens. We share our experiences. All right. If you assume that a child's shutting down just because they can't read the notes, it could be because they are hungry, or they didn't sleep last night, or someone got shot in the house next to them, or they had to move on the fly just like that. You don't know oftentimes what's going on in their lives. I know one girl came into me and trusted me enough to say, my sister tried to take her life last night. I didn't grow up with that. I didn't understand that. And all I needed to do at that moment was say, whatever you need today is what you need today. If you need to go to the restroom to collect yourself, that's what you need today. If you need an ear, I'm here. And we had the best lesson that day, and she looked stronger. And I just felt honored that she was willing to talk to me. Okay, the families. So I've talked to a lot of teachers about the underserved community, and the parents, if they don't have the right dress to wear to the concert, they won't come. Or if they can't bring their whole family, that means uncles, cousins, friends, to the concert, then they don't feel welcome. Or if the child can't get a white shirt, their white shirt is a little bit not clean or a little dim or whatever, and all the rest of the children have clean white shirts they just got a week ago, they may not show up. So what I did with a lot of my schools is I had the kids create the look of the t-shirt, so it was theirs, and then they were willing to wear that t-shirt to the concert with their nicest pants and their nicest shoes. Because I don't like jeans at a concert, but for them that's all they have. And so they wear their nicest ones. And my stipulation is they can't have holes in the jeans. And if they can't get them, then I ask them, what's your size? And I'll run to Goodwill and find them a pair of pants that might fit them for that concert. Clothes are amazing with some people. And so, so when you're thinking about your concert attire, if you can provide a cool looking t-shirt that they like, that one of them might have designed for that year, that says they are the, I don't know, the Bulldog Orchestra, that gives you another team, it gives you another group, it gives you another, like, this is something important. And they'll wear that so proudly. And a lot of times at one of my schools, they'd happen to go home in their cool t-shirt and you'd never see it again. And so for them, that might have been another shirt that they could wear just because they only had 5 or 3 or 1 or whatever. Or the school uniform. I mean, for some kids, that's their clothes for the year. And, oh, you know, by the end of the year, they need something new. So, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Here's something that I noticed. I'm going to move into families and the parents and the guardians. In my, my suburban areas, the parents would come into the parent-teacher conference. Is my kid okay? Yes. Are they doing what you want them to do? Yes. Okay, so everything's good? Yeah. Yeah, everything's good. So I don't need to do anything? No. How come my kid didn't have a solo? Oh, well, they didn't want to do one this time. So here again, I'm listening, I'm working with that parent or that guardian. One parent attacked me because on a chart on the wall, their child didn't have as many points as the person next to him, and they didn't think that was right. How come my child's not getting those points? and they were ready to go after their child. I thought, oh my goodness, you know. So for the suburban community, that was what the parents were worried about. For the urban parent-teacher conferences at my Title I school, the parents are like, what can I do to help them learn? Are they attending your classes? Are they showing up? Can I bring the whole family to the concert? That may mean 20 to 30 people. How do you get to play? How do you get them to play so well? What you do? How can I help? Always. Can I bring some cookies? I can't afford an instrument or books, so I guess my child can't be there. No. I will find a way to get them books. I will find a way to have an instrument in their hands. They deserve the opportunity. So I think that if we talk to the parents and let them know that we honor them and that we support them and that we're here for them too, not just their child, all of a sudden you have someone in your army of people that are helping your program, that are supporting you, that are talking to you, that are giving you the inside scoop as to what their child is thinking or what they're frustrated with. And it's amazing what opens up after that. The parents, you have to help them know that casual clothes are okay for concerts. It's all right. Don't worry about it. You might want to make sure that that parent knows that they can come to your classroom. They can participate in your classroom. They can, if they come in, I'll take a moment and say, hang on guys, I want to see what your mother thinks. If she thought that was better. And then I give the parent guidelines. Did it sound louder, softer? Did they sound like they were together? Did it sound like everybody was trying their best? Those are questions that the parent can answer. You don't want to ask them, so were all the bow holds right? Did you look? Or did they all look like they had their instruments standing up like this? Parents can't evaluate that. I mean, most of them. You might have a mariachi parent in there. But get them involved. Get them talking. Get them. The best thing that I ever did for my urban students was call in the first month to 2 months and say, your child is amazing. They're doing fantastic in my classroom. And all of a sudden the parent feels good, their child's doing what they're supposed to do, and they're succeeding, and oh, maybe I should support this a little bit. This would be cool. In the Hispanic community, music is above most things because music can be given to the mother. And the mother loves music, usually. Here again, careful. And so music was something in the family, in the Hispanic family, that was so highly valued, and for their child to be able to play Happy Birthday or Cielito Lindo or one of the Spanish songs was just such a wonderful thing. And sometimes I would even let the child that didn't bring their instrument home, I would say, bring your mom here, let's do a concert for her here. And the mother would just be crying. Oh my goodness, it was a beautiful thing. It was so wonderful. Let's see. Another thing, we can enlighten the parents about opportunities for teachers. Right now I'm hearing a buzz around the music education world that the children should see role models that look like them. And I know in the Native American community that if the child was learning and they were one of my high success stories and they were getting it and it was easy in my classroom, that when they went home, if they heard that their child was really, really one of the top students, they usually didn't continue into high school because they can't stick out from their family. I think this may be in the Hispanic community too. I'm not sure about the Black community. They can't stick out. And when they did, they were berated and they were brought down. They were told, no, you don't have an instrument, so you're not going to continue next year. And these children were such talented individuals. And so you have to pick a way to celebrate it that just says, they're doing great, and maybe not put them as the highlight of the concert, but put them in a group of 4 or 5 and let them shine in a group. So, little things that I never would have thought about. How about options for musical careers? If they like the medical field, they could do music therapy and help people that way. We have to help them with auditions. because they've never been to an audition. So we have to show them what it looks like. And I do mock auditions in the classroom so that we have the judges behind the table and maybe the audience on the side, and then the child has to come up and perform for everybody. And one of the worst sounds for someone auditioning is that pencil scritch. You've heard it. Because these children assume sometimes that you're saying bad things about them, or they are not succeeding, or that they stink, or they're not good. And so I let them hear that sound, and I let them know that I just wrote down a positive thing, that their music sounded so pretty, or that they got that one section that was so hard, and I was writing a critique about how good it was, so that they know that a lot of what we do is positive, and the judges are just like their teachers. We believe in them. What? We believe in them. We have compassion. We want them to succeed. We want them to be the future teachers. We want them to find the avenues to find what feeds them. This is what we have to do for these children. I'm in a school right now. It's called Columbus Collegiate Academy. It's a United Schools Network school. And Andrew Boy created this. And he said, every child gets a chance, gets the opportunity. Every child can go to college. We're aiming them for college. And why not aim them for college for music education? Why not tell them that they have a gift? And you see the student teachers that can sit next to a child and be patient and have empathy and listen to what they need and just give them those few words that are going to unlock another one of the, with music, there are so many times where you get stuck and it's like, I can't do that. It's like, yes, you can. You just haven't learned how yet. So I think for this segment, I'm going to end it with be compassionate, have empathy, listen to them, give them that one note that's going to take them to the next step, involve their parents and tell them what wonderful children they have. Bring the parents in to see. Tell them, like if they decide that they want to get an instrument, make sure you're involved. Make them safe with you, with your classroom. I'm so excited to be here today, and again, I'm Karen Koger, and I own String Riffs, which is music where it has an open string part, the challenge part, the tune, or maybe just a basic part that gives each child the opportunity to figure it out and be a success in your classroom and be a success in their lives and take music forward. That's what we need. Even if we have to do lean on me when you're not strong, whatever it is, give them the ground. Boom, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. They can play that. Give the middle group. They love to play it over and over again. Teach the violins and whatever violas, cellos, and basses want the melody. Teach them the melody. Give them the words. Play it on the concert. Oh my goodness. It's so fun. Well, for this segment, I'm done. Love these children. They're trying hard for you. Love the parents. They're there, but they're really busy providing food and shelter and safety for their children and celebrating their children. Help them celebrate. This is such an opportunity. Thank you for your time. If you have questions on the Q&A day, I'll be there, and I'll be happy to talk to you about the things that you found out about our students that are showing up, trying their best, giving you one note at a time, and making it happen. Thank you. I'll talk to you about a couple other things. We got to talk about the community. We got to talk about the administration. We got to talk about curriculum. So join me for another session, and we'll share some more information. Wish I could talk to you one-on-one. Bye.